Hey family, on this week's episode, I have a sit down with Kurt Terblanche, also known as Bhutabi. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Awesome, awesome. No, it's an absolute pleasure. I love how humble you are when you said, no, my name is Kurt Terblanche when I reached out to you, because obviously everyone knows you as, yes, you said it, Bhutabi. But I've obviously been at some of your shows. I've seen you speaking at school, etc. I followed your work, and I told you earlier, I was like, I am gonna get the picture with you one day. Until we were introduced.
Yeah.
Wow. So obviously, most people know you as a Bhutabi, but
Yes.
there's a person behind
My
it,
character.
and many might not even know you as Kurt Blanche, but let us in a bit what it was like growing up as Kurt Blanche before we introduce
Bhutabi.
to the people.
Well, thank you for having me once again, and I'm honored to be on your podcast. I've mentioned that I am impressed with the level of excellence.
Wow.
So I'll speak about striving for excellence maybe when
Okay.
we
Yes,
chat.
yes,
But
yes.
your question, going back to your question, the growing up as Kurt, I grew up in Hillside.
Yes.
A normal boy, bicycle, running in the street, playing normal games with friends. Enjoying the life in Hillside. We grew up, so Hillside is like next to the bush.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we were in the bush there with friends,
Sure.
and made fires in the bush. The fire was going to
Kochikos.
big koikikos in the bush. So the normal stuff.
Sure.
I went to school at Abraham Levy in Shorterville,
Okay.
primary school. From there, I went closer to home. I ended up at Abraham Levy because my parents were teachers at the school.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I
It just
said,
made sense. Yes.
yeah, well, they didn't actually want me to go to school there, but I said, why must I going to school with you?
Sure.
So I went to school with them. I ended up there, and then in high school, I ended up at BD, Bethelsdorp Senior Secondary. It was known then. During the mid 80s, I was at BD, and then from matric, I wanted to study art. So then I went to the then P Technicon,
Yeah.
and I studied fine art. I ended up doing painting as a major. So if I knew back then that maybe I had the ability, well, I knew I had the ability to make people laugh. I
Yes.
didn't know that I could actually turn it into a career.
Yeah.
I would have maybe studied speech and drama.
Sure, sure,
If
sure.
that was,
Yes.
if I knew that, it wasn't highlighted to me as a child that I had the ability. But everyone thought, I was like the life of the party when
Yeah.
we would laugh and make jokes, and people would say, "Come and tell that story again." I would mimic this comedian, and
Yes.
I would retell. I'm dyslexic, so what happens is with people with dyslexia often find different ways to learn. Okay, and
Okay.
one of the ways that people with dyslexia learn is by listening.
Yeah.
So because we cannot go read again for exams, and 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 keep and get the information in, we have to listen the first time people speak.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
the
Yes.
ability to do that helped me to memorize other people's jokes. So somebody would tell a joke, and we would listen, and we'd go away, and I'd say, that joke was like, then I would tell the joke
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
almost word for word,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I had to listen. So even at school, if I'm in a class, then I would have to listen, because I will go write exams based on what they said and not what I can read afterward. So, and I didn't do bad at school, even
Yeah.
though I struggled to read and write. I actually did pass very well. Those years was matric exemption. And so I passed from the exemption to go study at university. So even though I had this lack of reading and the
Yeah.
ability to spell, it didn't stop me from doing well in other subjects. But I had to listen in class.
Speaking of that, I'm not gonna mention names. A certain teacher I have teachers in my family, in my wife's family. But this person is in our family, and this person says that even matriculants are struggling to read. And now, listening to your story, I also have a friend who struggled to read, and I mean, he's successful in what he does, and this just blows my mind because oftentimes society tells us, you know what, if you are not this kind of person,
You're not
you're
going to
doomed.
succeed. Yeah, yeah. So really, the message or the message of my life is, there is something you can do. You must just find what that is and go for it. There's lots of stuff that we assume as something is going to keep me back.
Yeah.
And I mean, reading and writing is a key element of writing stories.
Yes,
You know,
yes, yes.
but I still write.
Yeah.
so I mean, there's
Just overcoming that, because remember what this podcast is about. It is basically sharing with others what maybe our guest or myself had to overcome in order to create where you are finding yourself now. Hi family, thank you so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe so you can be notified the next time when we upload a video. Because if you do not subscribe, then you will not be notified and you may never see our content again. So please do support us by subscribing, and thank you so much for your continued support.
on the 18th of October, I'm doing a high tea for AGS
Sure.
church. So look out there, they'll be advertising the event to come and support those things, all in aid of fundraising. So there's quite a few of those things, like high teas as big. People love to see Bhutabi at the high tea.
I never knew before you actually came on here that you were actually dyslexic. And this just blows my mind because I'm like, wow, this is exactly what we want to share with our audience. Because the reason why we started the podcast is to inspire our not only the younger generation but our viewers to maybe look at what they have, whether inside of them or basically starting that what is in their mind that but something is keeping them back, that limiting belief. And I found that so many of us have limiting beliefs that keeps us from actually not even reaching 10% of who we are. I couldn't go past the fact that you also lived in Shorter. I grew up in Shorter actually.
So yeah, most people, in fact, most people actually believe I lived in Shorter, but I never lived in Shorter.
Is it?
My character lives in Shorter.
Okay, yes. Okay.
So often people can't separate Bhutabi from
Bhutabi
Kurt.
from Kurt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I work very hard at it, keeping the two characters separate.
Yes.
So yes, Bhutabi. Even when people ask me for artist profile, I ask, whose artist profile do you want?
Yes.
Mine or Bhutabi? Because Bhutabi has his own artist profile. He lives in Shorter and he worked there, and this is his wife and this is his family. And because I did radio for so long, and the character was so believable, and people bought into this idea of this person, I had to build a whole backstory for him.
Wow.
Because if somebody phones in and asks something, I can't make it up on the spot. I need to know.
Specs, so when they ask you the same
so
question,
there's a whole backstory of Bhutabi that half of it never even came out. But it is there.
Yes.
You know.
What inspired Bhutabi?
Okay. So
guys, get your coffee and your biscuits ready.
So Bhutabi was almost brought into existence as a means to an end. What happened was, Bhutabi is not even my creation. Bhutabi is a very good friend of mine, Andre McKay, who's his daughter Elena just released a song with Early B.
Yeah. I watched they were on
Bay
FM.
Yeah. So Elena's dad created the character. So we were in the worship team together, and the worship team would do like productions.
Sure.
So we would sing because we that's what we do at some
Yeah.
ministry, we sing. And then he said, look, let's just spice this thing up a bit by introducing comedy. Okay. So we thought, okay, and he wrote the very first script for a production called Vavasje. That was in 2012. So for a couple of months, and then he said, okay, this is your character, and give it life. And he was the friend of Bhutabi, Olali. So listeners from PFM back in the day will remember that Bhutabi and Olali was together, broadcasting on a show called A Bietjie van Als. So he created the character, and I gave it life, and it snowballed from there. So the very first production in, I think, 28 November 2012, we did the first stage production, and that took over the show. And we did it for a few years, in so much that by 2015, I was doing it for 3 years. It was just too big to contain to a little church show.
Yes. Yes.
So it did the big stage, and it went to radio, and it snowballed from there.
You know, it's one thing to present on radio. It's another thing to be on stage, and then it's also another thing to create film. But it seems like you've mastered all of it. How does it?
I wouldn't
How is
say,
it different, or?
I wouldn't say I mastered all of it. I'll tell you what, I believe in expiring. I believe in trying your best every single time you in front of a camera, on a stage or in the radio, to strive for excellence. So if you were good last week, next week you must be better.
Yes.
And the week after that, you must be better.
Sure.
If you're not striving for excellence, then you might as well just stop doing it.
Sure.
You know, and it's in the details, it's in little things we do, like your setup, the way you have things done, is striving for excellence.
Sure.
We could have done it differently, with the background different, no accent light at the back.
Yeah.
But those little things that you focus on to create depth in your shot.
Yes.
Those type of things, and looking at your podcast when you look at it the next time and say, okay, I can improve on this, on lighting there, on this, on the sound, on those type of things. So every time I was on radio, so radio is intense because it's live. It's live.
No cut.
There's no and Ikasa will be on your back if you say something wrong.
Yeah.
So you constantly have to think about what you say. You have to be careful not to market somebody that's not paying advertising.
Yes.
You know.
Wow.
You have to control everything. You have to look for songs. You have to read WhatsApps that's coming through, and everything. So, and I mean, I did an hour-long comedy show every week. So it's fresh comedy every week.
No.
For 3 years. So 3 years you have to speak for an hour. We played 2 songs in that slot.
Yeah.
And you have to come up with something that the people want to engage with. And what makes radio so difficult is when you do comedy is there's no audience to get your energy from. You don't know if people is laughing now. Are you being funny? Because being on stage is easier for me than doing radio. You can read the audience. You can see they're enjoying this. I'm going to carry on with this a little bit.
Yes.
I'm going to stop this joke now. It's run its course. And you can switch here and you can do something else. And you feed off the energy of the audience. Radio is I'm speaking to a microphone.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you don't know if people is engaged or not. You know? So radio was extremely difficult, but I must say the radio was very rewarding.
Yeah.
In the way that, it was the people that listen to radio is people in wheelchairs, people that's bedridden, people that's
Okay.
blind. They are people who is your audience most
Sure.
of the time. Radio also bring families together. Now people are quiet and they're listening together, they're laughing together.
I can
It, it,
remember
it,
us as a family
it
listening to the
creates
radio.
it creates some sort of bond
Yeah.
that the radio gives people for that time that you're on. Someone said once to me, the lady has passed on now. It was one of the listeners from Utne, Karika. And she said, you know what, Bhutabi, I'm constantly in pain. She was in a wheelchair. I'm constantly in pain. Towards the weekend, I start to
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
happy
yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
know your program is going to be on.
Anticipating.
And as soon as your program starts, my pain is gone for that whole hour because I'm laughing, I'm
Wow.
enjoying it. And after the show, I still, the pain is just gone. Sunday, the pain will start to kick in again, and then
Yes.
the prospect of listening to you over the weekend again is a relief. So there were times when I thought, oh, I can't do this anymore. It's
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much. It
In
takes
fact, everyone wants to give up at some point in
yeah,
time.
it takes too much of my time. It takes away from my family. You must know it's a Saturday morning
Sure.
slot, so we can't go away because there's no one that can fill and do the show. We can't do something in the morning. They have to wait till I come off air before we can actually do
Yeah.
something. It wasn't something we pre-record because we engage with the audience telephonically. But messages like that,
Yes.
people said, and there were many people that they felt better. It gave people
Sure.
hope. It just brought some joy into some people's lives, and that motivated me to carry on for as long as I could.
And now I'm actually realizing the importance of it because, when I, for instance, I had a long month or week, and my wife would know that, what, we need to break away from whatever we are facing at that point of time. It's basically therapy.
Yeah,
So I'm sure that that is what has played a big role in you basically doing this, not only for a season, but now, I mean, from since 2012, it's what?
13 years.
13, 14,
Yeah,
it's going to 14?
yeah.
Wow.
So really, I see my comedy as a ministry
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely,
because
definitely.
I can reach a lot of people, bring joy,
Sure.
take away despair, people with depression. It's little bits of stuff that can help people to recover or
Yeah.
be on, stay on the track, or there's this. It's small things, man. But if I can contribute in any small way
Yes.
to bring joy to people, um, you'd never know if you reach people, and I'm okay with it if I never know. But if there's one person or one family, maybe a husband and a wife, there was something not good, but there was a bit of laughter and it just sparked conversation again.
Yeah, yeah.
They were maybe
You saved
not
the
talking
marriage.
to each other. It could save a
Yeah,
marriage,
yeah, yeah.
by maybe the joy was robbed in that family.
Sure.
The husband lost his job and his struggles, and just one day he felt a bit better and he thought, I mean, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go do it, and finds a job. You know,
Wow.
we
Yeah.
would never know what we can do, but that must inspire us to push and to maybe make a difference. We don't have to know we're making a difference,
Yes,
but at
yes.
least we're trying to make a difference. And if we don't see it in that way, that we actually making a difference, or we have the ability to make a difference, then we'll never, I think, push as hard as what we do.
I like the fact that you are saying that you see this as a ministry, and I can see why you do it the way how you do it. People don't. You don't have to step on others to be funny. You don't have to use profanity. And the reason why I say this is when I started the podcast, it's exciting. I even had like 3 guests all at once. The morning, I think I had Bradley Murray, then I had the Lindworths, noontime, then I had Jonathan Rabane, the afternoon. When I got started, I was like that excited, and but then the excitement wears off, etc. But then it is those comments that comes through, and people call me up, or some even book a appointment with me and just come and share their gratitude on, because I interviewed different entrepreneurs, and I, for instance, had people that spoke about how to get out of debt, how to buy a first house, all of those kind of things. When people tell me this, you said no, it's little things. And I believe that the most amazing people don't know how amazing they are, and this is one of the cases. I'm actually stealing Tony Robbinson's words, but it's so true. And when people, it is, you are the 21st person that I'm actually interviewing, and when I got to 5, I was like, no, man, should I still do this? When I got to 10, should I still continue? When I got, you know, every other a week, you feel like, you know what, am I making a difference? And then there are the feedback that actually comes through. So, guys, speaking of feedback, let us know in the chat what did you like best about this episode. Mr. Bhutabi here, I'm still amazed. In fact, this shouldn't happen, especially me being the interviewer, but being dyslexic, I still can't, because you know, I need to be able to go back and say, you know what, oh, I saw there, yeah, I saw, you know, but your work, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a picture with this guy one day," not knowing that this is gonna, because you strive for excellence. You mentioned something to the effect of, whatever you do, just do the next one a bit better, do the next one a bit better, do the next one a bit better. And I'm a firm believer. Mr. Beast is the most paid YouTuber, and he's some people keep asking, how do you do what you do? He said, just create any video. Then you improve one thing, the next video, the next video, or the next video. And that is the message that we want to bring here today. Because people are watching. And getting to your 14th year hasn't been easy. However, you had to improve in order to get here. So sometimes people want to start off on level 14, but they're only on level 0.
Yeah. Look, the most important thing is to start. It is to start. You'll know deep down in your heart what it is that you are able to do. And start small. You know, I am nowhere near where I want to be.
Yes.
I started at a late age to actually do what I do. I mean, lots of people start at very young age.
Yeah.
So I had a family already when I started doing this.
So you
thing.
had all the excuses
So,
not to.
yeah, I could have said, look, no, I got a full-time job. I work long hours. I have kids. I have a wife. I have a ministry at church that it was keeping me busy.
Yes.
You know, I was singing in this group and singing in that choir and doing all of those things. And I found time to do this. I'm not a very good manager of time, I must say. So I try to improve on that too, is to manage my time better. You know, you would still need to make time for your health. So you need to exercise and do all of that. And I think you can make time because there's a lot of unnecessary stuff we do in life that we can throw out, like watching TV. For me, is not a thing.
Yeah, I can't remember when last I actually watched TV.
You know,
in fact, to do my wife a favor, I would watch a movie.
That is for us. Something is like, say, okay, let's watch a movie together. But other than that, it's not really a thing that I do. I try and educate myself as much as possible because you have all the facilities now to train yourself and to teach.
Yes.
So instead of using like aimless leisure time, rather use the time to educate yourself. But like I said, people must start and then build from that start. Improve on certain things. for me, working in the industry of entertainment, so I do a lot of private functions.
Yeah.
That is like a week on week stuff is private functions.
Now, as you are speaking on that topic, many are watching now, but I want to have them lean in because we have many people who have talent, but they don't know how to use that talent. So it actually becomes a way of means to provide. Please zoom in on that as well.
There's so many people that is the uncle that speak at the weddings. You know, or he's the guy at church. Everyone uses him. He's always speaking at the high tea. And we sometimes, our communities abuse the people's skills and abilities. He is the guy that everyone calls to come fix the sound at every event. And you don't have to be ridiculous on charging things, but somewhere, if you have that skill and ability,
Must put a value to it.
you must put a value to it. Otherwise, you undermining your own
Definitely.
abilities, you know. And says, look, I don't have to charge a fortune, but for emceeing at your event, I mean, I charge to MC at events.
Sure.
So you can say small nominal fee to cover this, that, and the other, and I will be your MC. And if you strive for excellence, and people will be willing to pay.
Yeah.
You understand? So you can push it to a point where people are saying, like I'm traveling to East London to go to a wedding there. I'm going to go do a 60th birthday in Franschhoek. I've traveled to... So people are willing to bring you from your city, pay for your accommodation, pay for your travel expense to have you there if you work at your craft.
Yeah.
You know? You improve on your craft. You get to a level of excellence where people are willing to spend money on it. But I spend a lot of hours rehearsing. So when my family goes to sleep at night, then I will go into the studio and I will, I don't really rehearse comedy as much. I rehearse my singing mostly.
Okay.
Because comedy, I will jot down ideas and concepts. And some will lay there for a while before I put meat onto it. But my singing skill and also trying to do a bit of a dancing skill, it's lacking. but I'm also working on, and that...
Definitely not lacking from my point of view.
So all of those things, and then like the last production I did.
Sure.
In August was called Once Upon a Ladies' Night. So we pushed the boundaries on that production way more than any other production we've done. And I haven't seen, because I try and support as many local events that I can. So if somebody has a stage production, then I'll go when I'm not booked. I'll take my wife and go watch something because I like to support the local acts when they're out there. And sometimes I feel that people is not thinking about how do I improve from the last time. So the last production we did, I invited 3 ladies to be part of the cast. Because it was in Women's Month and it was called Once Upon a Ladies' Night. So Once Upon a Ladies' Night was a production where Bhutabi's grandson. So it starts off with a video where Bhutabi, he puts his grandson to bed and his grandson asks him, Opa, tell me a bedtime story. And he's like, I don't know a bedtime story. And he says, tell me something from your head. And he relates a story when he was in his young years. And he pretends that it's somebody else. So he tells the story in the third person.
Sure.
And we used AI to generate a storybook.
Sure.
With the characters. So we use the likeness of the characters in a cartoon. So on screen, while you're sitting on stage, you watch a video that goes into a storybook that pages and tells you a story with a narrated voice. And Bhutabi interrupts the storyteller because he's not telling the story correctly. He tells the story, and we use music and lights and videography, live videography while we're singing. So we push the boundaries of the production to not just, you didn't just come to watch a comedy show.
No.
Or you didn't come to watch a musical production, but we want to engage you in all areas that we can. And it was very successful. And now we have to work at how we can improve on that. So it becomes scary. And I'm glad it's scary because
It's
now
when
I
you
know
push
I have to
yourself.
push myself
Yeah.
to come up with a concept that, and it needs to have a model. All my shows have a model, you know.
Yeah.
It's not just you come here for a bit of laughs and stuff.
Sure.
So I have a message in the show. Everyone comes to the show know there's a bit of a message in there, and they know there's gonna be good singing, it's gonna be comedy. It's a bit about everything, but it's always about making sure that we push the limits, we push the boundaries. There's nothing that stops us from being. The budget is not there.
Yes.
We
yes.
don't have that same budget, that big scale production. But what is in us, myself and Andre
Yes.
is my business partner, that we do the stuff together. And between us, we've learned so many skills over the years because we had to rely on ourselves. So we go in early and we set up lighting and sound and props. You know, the script was written and rehearsed and produced by us. And then sometimes I just have enough time to go shower and come back and perform. So I'm finished because we were busy like for 8 hours doing a setup, and then I have to perform for 2.5 hours, and then we have to break down that whole set because tomorrow the theater needs to be used for something else. And because of what we did, we are able to employ other people. So people can come on board doing camera work for us, being at the door. And, so just being a funny man has opened up doors for other people as well.
Yes.
You know?
And if you didn't tap into that, the opportunity that you're creating now wouldn't have existed. I love the fact that what you mentioned in terms of using AI and creating a booklet, having videography, having the script, the music, etc. Because it didn't just end off with being funny, being able to make people laugh. I said something the other day. I said, we're not going to be replaced by AI, but we're going to be replaced by people who use it. Because even in my industry, I tell people, you know what? Because I connect influencers with businesses, one of my businesses. Then we help them generate new business, basically. So then I tell people, anyone can create a following. You can even use AI. You can make lead magnets. You can create videos. You can create PDFs. Teach people something. Build a following. And if you get enough traction, I can potentially even connect you with the business. Like you said that, you know what, the reason why you position yourself, like how you position yourself, is because corporate is then interested in what you are doing. And I see many of our youth, nothing wrong with building a following, dancing, etc. But oftentimes it just stops there, because what these platforms are going to pay you for views in comparison to what corporate can pay you. People, they don't see the next layer of it. They only see it surface level, and I believe that is what limits our people.
Look, there's a lot of people who make a lot of money on social media platforms, but then they must also drive that specific. If that's where they're gonna want to make their money, then they must try and always do better as well.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Then go all out. Make sure that your YouTube channel is buzzing. Your Facebook page is monetized. You know, you're making money on Instagram and TikTok. And push those boundaries, because there are very many people who will never be on stage, or might not even go all out to do things on a corporate level. They obviously with that, the advertising that comes with their thing. But then you also have to think smart about it and be able to attract a certain brand to want to advertise on your platform.
Yeah.
You know, so no, whatever platform you choose
Yes.
to use, go for it.
Yeah.
By all means, just go for it. Like I said, not everyone's gonna want to be on stage, but
100%.
but the TikTok or the Facebook or Instagram is their stage.
Yeah.
So make it work for you. You know.
You said something earlier that we need to put a value to our skill. Now, I'm a firm believer that Matthew 25, where it speaks about the talents, the one that goes to heed it. I don't want to sound judgmental. However, I feel like that principle also comes in terms of we do have a skill and we almost feel guilty to actually put the value to it.
Yeah, we must never undervalue ourselves. We have immense value.
Sure.
We have immense value to Christ, and it is wrong to undervalue our skills and our abilities. We don't always want to value it in a monetary value,
Yeah.
but we can use it to make a
Yeah.
living.
Yes.
But know your value. Know and understand your value, even if it's not money. The respect that you will gain
Yes.
from being professional in your approach, and for yourself, man, your
Sure.
self-worth. Attach that value to your skill.
Like for instance, counseling. So I don't charge to do counseling, but I've seen God working like miracles in it. So I like how you say that, you know what, even if there's no monetary value that you put to it, but you need to understand the value of it, because you mentioned earlier, you see your work as a ministry, because you have potentially even saved marriages. You've saved a person from, you know what, saying once again, you know what, I'm not a failure, I'm going to die again, and he gets that job. And that obviously brings fulfillment. So we spoke earlier about our world is obviously changing. So maybe we are looking for opportunities or jobs based on the 1980s, etc., because there are so many new opportunities that is opening up. What are not only our youth, but what are people missing, or what can they actually what would you like to shine a light on, so in order to create more awareness about it?
Yeah, difficult one. I would say we have to live in the real world. That's one thing. Yeah? Understand what this world is about.
When you say the real world,
Okay, so sometimes we create an image of the world we want to live in, or where we think we are in, and that image that we've created for ourselves is maybe something that we're living in the past, or we're living in the future. We're not living in the now.
You're not living in the present.
We're not living in the present. That's what I'm saying. So we have to open our eyes and understand what this world looks like. What is the challenges people face? What is the challenges you face? Because sometimes we're in denial over the same things that we face, or the things that's important. And if we understand and see what the world is and what the world needs, then maybe we can provide some of that needs. You understand? But what the world needed is maybe not what is needed today. So even it's scary that kids are starting varsity now. In 4 years' time, if they do something, it might not even be a job anymore. You
I
know,
had that conversation on our last podcast.
so the thing is, we should have our eye on the future,
Yes.
learn from the past, but live in the present. We should be able to see what the genuine needs of people are.
You mentioned earlier that you had a workshop where you showed comedians
Yeah, it
basically.
was
So I can see that you're not living in a world of lack. Your mindset is abundance, because normally a person would keep the secrets to themselves because they're scared others are gonna find out and eat their bread. But you
yeah.
know that there's
Yeah. So my other job that I have that's not related to entertainment or
sure.
this is I'm a production manager of a printing company.
Okay.
So my background is printing,
Sure.
and over years I've trained new printers into the industry,
Yeah.
and I always believe that I must share as much as I know
Sure.
onto them as well, you know. And today I can pick the fruits from that, because those guys are now so skilled. It makes my job easier.
Yeah.
You understand?
Because now you can.
Yeah, I can just delegate the stuff, and I don't have to watch them because I know they
Yeah.
understand the
You
things.
know.
In maybe in the entertainment industry, people might feel, yeah, no, if this up and coming comedian is going to take my bread away, but I don't necessarily want to be on stage forever.
Yeah.
That's not my goal.
Sure.
It's not my end game.
Sure.
So if I can help
Yes.
and skill up singers, actors, comedians, potentially one day I could manage them,
Yeah.
and I could send them, you go MC there,
Sure. Sure.
because
No,
I
definitely.
would be built up. Would have built up a reputation to be able to people know I can trust this guy that he
Sure.
recommends.
Yeah.
So what if
Because
I
you have a
have 10
name on it.
MCs that
Yeah.
can work for me? So why would I not want to do that,
100%.
and skill up people? And the thing is, it's the legacy is also important, man. If I'm long gone, people can say, where I sharpened my craft was with Bhutabi.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He helped me to get to where I am today. So yeah, I don't worry if people's gonna step on my toes. It's gonna sharpen me to make sure
Yeah.
that I stay ahead of the pack.
Yes, and then you also want to become better and better and better. I had a photographer on two photographers on here. We also do photography. We do videography. So and I'm about to share one niche that I'm tapping into, because I know that there's so many opportunity out there. But oftentimes people are like, you know what? If I share this, then it's gonna take away from me. But no, it's challenging. Now it's gonna push you, because you want to excel and even do better. So, um, in my business, I've basically I would say I'm okay at sales when I'm now when that is the focus. So I do workshops, and I come in and share with companies. You know what? Maybe look at their sales script, look at how they generate leads, and then I help them to generate more leads. Um, I can even come in and, for instance, create content. Find a influencer, create content, because we have the high-end cameras and the lights and the microphones, etc. Because the normal photographer doesn't think of that. They're like waiting for a matric farewell
Yeah.
or a wedding or whatever. So now, how many businesses are there in Kabeja? You don't have to only work in PE. So now, because oftentimes our people only think person to person, but not business to business. And oftentimes, because of that thinking, corporate isn't interested in what we're doing because we're not positioning ourselves that way.
You know, so like I'm positioning myself now to be the guy that does wellness events for your company. You know how
Yeah.
big wellness is in the corporate section at the moment, because everyone's is tired, they're
Yeah.
frustrated, the economy is bad, their staff morale is down.
Yeah.
So they bring in one guy to come and just do an hour session
Yes.
with the staff. Some people bring in a masseuse to give people a bit of a massage at work,
Sure.
or do the ladies' nails or something like that. Some people bring in a comedian that sings, and that's gonna just encourage the staff by doing a motivational talk
Yes.
as a comic while singing. You know, so I position myself to do that, and it's the companies that approaches me is big companies,
Yeah.
because I've positioned myself to be in that space.
Sure.
So there's lots of spaces where people can move into, but try and think out of the box. Try and be innovative about your approach. And I know there people thought there's not a lot of space for clean comedians, but I mean I could present on the radio and I can do so many different functions because the comedy is clean and people know it's not going to be offensive. They can bring me into any space, any
Yeah.
corporate space, to do those type of things. And like you said, people must just think bigger. Think bigger than what you are. You must be scared to do what you do.
Yeah.
If you're not scared doing it, then leave it.
Many people know where you come from. Some of us thought you come from shorter. But there are also many highlights in your journey, stuff that you have achieved. To mention a few, take us into what it was like. What stands out for you?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of things that stand out for me. Some was smaller than others. Some was maybe a small little concert that I did.
Yeah.
And appreciation from the people. I traveled and did an event in Kuruman, I said. And it was different to experience people from a place that far, that's a mining town.
Yeah.
And the joy that we could share there. Things like being on Cake Net with Emo Adams.
Yeah.
Mark My Famous, season 1. That was also a big highlight because I've saw the other side of how that works. You know, we rehearsed 3 days solid with mentors, and you do the same 3-minute act over and over for days with very little breaks. You have your lunch, you have a tea break, but you start in the morning and you work till late at night. So the work ethic that's on set and how you learn from other people that's on set. People like Bernice West, that's a big Afrikaans singer, and I would Leifie.
Sure, yeah.
She was one of the people that was in my group. And at the time, I told the guys that was there, you know, this girl's gonna go very far, because I could see the vigor she had. She was like really wanting to be there. And people like Emo Adams, they truly want to help people. Like we were speaking about not wanting people to rise.
Yeah.
He authentically wants
Yes.
to help you to be the best that you can be. You know, and that I took away from it. Like, why must you want to hold stuff back for yourself if you can help other people to also achieve? The movie, the film that I wrote, I had a concept for a film in my mind. And Wally Lewis came to me and said, like, look here, you speaking about this movie,
Let's do it.
let's do it. And I didn't have a script. And he said, we're going to do a casting for the cast in 2 weeks time. And I was like, oh, I have to write a script. And I sat at night with a laptop in bed.
Yeah.
And I wrote like 10,000 words in a week for a script, and it just carried on flowing from there. I just
It's
this.
amazing how when we push ourselves, what we
You
can
see,
achieve.
if he maybe didn't come to me and said, let's do this, because this was an idea. I didn't have a budget. We have to pay actors. We have to buy food for the set. You have to have transport in place. You know, so let's dive into this thing and do it. I did another thing that was exciting was this TV show we did called Milies en Bone.
Yeah.
It was on DSTV with Francois Scholes, and we co-wrote. He would write the initial idea, and then I would do, so like in Afrikaans you say draaiboek. I would write the draaiboek. I actually don't know what's draaiboek in English. And Andre would do the editing and the filming, and we did the set design ourselves. But it was so much. You know why it was so exciting is because how much we learned. How much we learned. I was in a TV series that we shot called Kasi Ballerina. It was mainly Xhosa and English, and I was like a crooked cop in the thing. So I had Benito Carlsen, who was on. He did a program on SABC as well,
Yeah.
and he's a videographer, and he has I think the film school or something. He directed the whole event. And from them, just being on set, you learn so much of how these things work.
Yeah.
But he asked if I could actually play a serious character because everything I play is it's
the energy
comedy.
that you have.
It's comedy, and people just see me in that light like,
Yeah.
hey, can this guy be serious in a movie? And so I got a serious role where I was actually a bit scrupulous. And yeah, so that was all new, challenging myself to play a different role in the short films about abuse. It's called She Said No. I played a father of an abused victim, and it's also when you actually put yourself in those roles, it opens
Yeah.
up something new to yourself because you have to live in that
Yes.
character, and you understand maybe a little bit more about the environment that some people live in, and how people's lives are very
Which is
different
actually
from
their
yours.
reality.
That's the
Yeah.
reality. So those things, some of the things that shaped my understanding of life and the way I approach things,
But before all of this could happen, there must have been people doubting you. And I believe that we are our biggest criticizers, but there must have been people doubting your ability.
Look,
or the fact that you can actually make a professional career.
I'm sure that some people thought that thick eyebrows and fat stomach that you put on is a stupid idea.
Yes. Yeah.
Like some people say, you can see her stomach's not real, man. But if that naysayers, if I took them to heart, then Bhutabi would have never been Bhutabi.
Yeah.
So Bhutabi said when he was on radio, he mentioned that. So I always speak about Bhutabi
Yes, in the third person.
So he said that his age and his voice
Yeah.
should not have gotten him on radio. Because Bhutabi is obviously older. He comes from South End originally before he moved to Shorter. And I mean, that's squeaky funny voice. He's not a radio voice.
Sure.
But yet he's on radio. Trying to tell people
Yes,
that don't
I
stereotype
relate to- yes.
people and put them in a mold and say that you are not that type.
Yeah.
Because who think that somebody speaks like that can actually be on radio that people want to listen to?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's like don't say no. I don't have a face for TV.
Yes.
We need people with scars on TV, or I don't have a shape to do this. Don't limit yourself and say that I don't have the ability. Look, we have to be realistic about some of our abilities and
and
where,
what we have
like, I maybe shouldn't be a deep sea diver if I or work on a skyscraper if I have fear of heights.
Sure.
You know, but there's nothing we can't overcome. If we're realistic in what our abilities are or where we fit in, then we can move in a direction. I'll never be an English teacher because I can't spell, you know. So I'm realistic about that.
Yeah. But I'm still struggling to believe that. I'm not sure whether he's speaking in the third person.
No. Bhutabi, I think he knows how to spell, but not Kurt.
You have really impacted our lives, especially our generation and even more generations to come. What does that make you feel like to know what, Bhutabi is a household name?
You know, honestly,
I know you're quite humble about it.
yeah, but
it is what it
for
is.
me, it is actually a humbling experience to think that I have the ability to impact people, but it's a driving force for me because I need to reach more people in the time that I was given. I don't know. Tomorrow's not guaranteed for any one of us,
Sure.
and we need to do as much as we can in the time given to us. So for me, the fact that I have the ability to get into people's hearts, into their homes, and look, Bhutabi is not everyone's cup of tea. So there's still people I need to win over in the time that I have left. But I would like to do as much as I can in the time given to me. Yeah. So yeah, I don't see myself as, because most people don't even know me when I walk in the street. I did a function last night, and so I started with the function as Kurt, very formal, introducing the bride and the groom and this and the other. And then when the service started, I went away and I came out as Bhutabi. So I walk in and it causes a whole stir when I walk in as Bhutabi, and people scream, "Bhutabi, can we take a photo, Bhutabi?" And so then I'll do the function like that, and towards the end I change back, and then people were arguing at the one table. That's Bhutabi. No, that's not him. So people would not know that it's me when I walk off stage.
Wow, the level of skill.
So that for me is so I can move around quite freely with most people not actually knowing it's Bhutabi until somebody says, "Hello, Bhutabi." Say, "Is it Bhutabi?" You understand? Yeah. So I quite enjoy that because it gives me a little bit of privacy. But I love Bhutabi being everybody's uncle.
Yeah.
In everybody's home, and just there was this family in Utne. They would listen to the radio show on a Saturday, and I did a function for them, and the father said, "My daughter, she don't like you." And then I said, "Why don't you like Bhutabi?" She said, "It's not that I don't like Bhutabi." She said, "Do you know our house come to a complete standstill when that show was on, and nobody's allowed to talk in our house?" Because my father and them was quiet, and then they laughing loudly, and we can't do anything else. So yeah, so like I know there's maybe children or young people that I don't identify to, or
yes.
But I understand that. I understand that, and I'll work at winning everybody. Well, you're not everybody. You'll never win everybody.
Sure.
But I'll constantly try and work and see, okay, how do I bring that people into it? Yeah. It's not that I want to grow a fan base or anything, but I want to reach as many people as I can. Sure. In the time that I'm given to reach as many people as I can, I will strive and work at it. We were conditioned by the lifestyles we live. Dad goes to work, he comes home, he's done with work. We watch TV as a family, go sleep, tomorrow he goes to work again. That was the way we were conditioned to believe life works. When we used to watch TV programs in America, people used to say, I hold down 3 jobs to pay the mortgage. There'll be a waiter in the evening, they have something that they do during the day, and on the weekend they do something else. They never saw those things as side hustles.
Yeah.
They saw that as a means of making an income.
Sure.
And I think it's just that mindset that we shouldn't be having. We should treat every job like a job.
How do you feel about the following? I feel like we can basically get rid of the 62% unemployment rate just by changing the mindset, because becoming self-employed is a decision away.
Yeah, you know, everyone has the ability to run their own business, to be an entrepreneur. It's really just a mindset.
Sure.
It's a mindset. We have to, our young kids, I mean, you find people that gets the 350, or I don't know how much is now, from
I
government,
think I read someone's Facebook 370.
or 370.
Oh yes, I want to send someone to rehab, and then they told me he's only earning the 370 per month.
You see, so they will get that to live off it. Someone else goes and they use that money to start a little business, even if it's selling chips, peanuts, or something.
Yeah.
So at least they have a start every month to build something that can make more money than that 370. They know every month I'll have something coming in to grow that money. And if you're just thinking of that 370 as, oh, I need to buy porridge, I need to buy this, whatever, then that's where it's going to end.
It's gonna end right there.
That's the fish and not the fishing rod. But if you see the 370 as a fishing rod, how much more can you achieve?
Sure.
You know?
But since you are also a motivational speaker, how do you switch that on for people? Because people are not programmed that way. Like you said that we were programmed. You come home, dad and mom comes home after work, watch TV, go sleep, etc. So now whatever comes in, they see it as a means to live by, to live on. But how do you? Because not people are frowning on what you've just said in terms of.
But that, I'm just using a 370 as an example.
Yeah.
That goes
Yes,
for
yes,
everything.
for everything.
You sit with a hidden ability or talent or skill, and you don't turn it into something that can profit you and your family. Comedians, for instance, I mean, that's the space I move in. Being a comedian, very many people are funny.
Yeah.
They the life of the party.
Yeah.
But they never see how they can turn that skill into a business. I've presented a workshop at some stage, and it was titled Funny Business. How do you turn comedy into a business? And I look at a lot of comedians or guys who maybe see themselves as stand-up comics or stand-up comedians, and they enjoy the art of making people laugh, because there's a reward when you make people enjoy themselves. There's an emotional reward that you get, to satisfaction you get from making people laugh.
Yes.
And sometimes it can be almost like a drug.
Yeah.
Because
You keep pushing it.
Yeah, you're enjoying that.
Sure.
And it's good. It's good to be able to make people happy or make people laugh. But can you use that skill and turn it into something profitable? I'm not excluding the fact that some people want to create art for art's sake.
Sure.
Because I'm a painter. I studied fine art.
Sure.
So painting was my major.
Sure.
I didn't know if I was going to be a painter, but you can see all art forms as, if you want to be like a Vincent van Gogh and live poorly and just do art for art's sake. But surely at some stage you need to eat and you need to provide for your family, and you have the tools, which is your craft. So for me, I speak to comedians and say, look, it's fine to make people laugh, but what you're going to do, you're going to go do stand-up at the club for $200-300 for the evening. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm not going to judge anyone for wanting to do that. But if you want more out of it, there's certain things that you need to look at. You need to look at, for instance, I know a lot of guys use profanity and they're vulgar, and the language is maybe not savory. So if you're going to use that type of language, there's somebody that sits in the audience that has a corporate business. They're not going to hire you to come and MC their year-end function. You understand? So yes, that's your art, and that's how you want to create your comedy, and that is funny. I, on the other hand, never swear when I do a joke.
Yeah.
I don't swear as a person. So
Yes.
I don't.
part of you.
That's who I am. So I
Yeah.
don't use any profanity, and I don't try and isolate certain individuals. I make fun of people in the audience, but it won't be my focus to make them feel bad about who they are.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
understand? And I think a lot of people do that. And so with the comedy, and I'm not saying every comedian should be clean. I mean, there's lots of comedians who make lots of money,
Yeah. Who use profanity
yeah,
or
all the time. But if looking at my circles of the industry, I'm trying to
Sure.
the way I move into doing wellness events for companies,
Yes.
doing their long service awards, being the MC at the trade show, that type of things.
Yes.
You need to have your audience interest at heart.
You must know where you position yourself in the market.
How
and
you
who you're
position
gonna
yourself,
attack.
yeah, and how you're going to attract people.
Sure.
You know, so yeah, for me, those type of things. So when we're speaking about, the fact that people sit with things, but they don't always know how to use it.
Yeah.
I think government should also maybe look at those skills development and showing people. And I think even at school level, our kids aren't taught to think out of the box. There should be more subjects taught in school to make kids think, well, the skills I have is actually something I can use. Growing up in the schooling system that we grew up in the 80s, it was more about focusing on academics, remembering
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah,
and be
yes.
able to put it down on paper again. Nobody looked at saying, this guy is actually a musical genius. This
Sure.
guy is gifted in physical ability to play sport. So we see people as clever when they can remember facts.
Yes.
But we don't see somebody as clever when he has ability to play an instrument because he has musical intellect.
Sure.
Or somebody has communication skills. He might not. I'm a dyslexic. So I have dyslexia. My youngest daughter, unfortunately, is also dyslexic. It's inherited. Inherited. So I struggled to read. I still struggle to read. I still spell terrible. But fortunately, we have things that can help,
Yes, 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 yes,
that
yes.
can fix the spelling. So most people would have thought that because I struggle to read or write,
Yes.
that it'll stop me from achieving my goals.
Yes, yes, yes.
And now I write stories. That's what I do. I write stories. I write all the content I do. I have to write. So I even use like speech to text
Yeah.
because we
Yes,
have
yes,
those
yes,
things
yes, yes.
at our
We have that technology.
But people judge you maybe on the fact that you struggle to read. I mean, my friends still, and I have very good friends for 40 years
Yeah.
that we've been close friends, and they still laugh about how I maybe read stuff. It'll be the joke when we're together,
Yeah.
and so those type of things, and when maybe you have an insensitive teacher or somebody who is a mentor to someone, and they don't see that beyond that
Yeah.
there is something else that we can bring out. So I used to write long essays because I have a very my imagination can run wild.
Sure, sure, sure.
But it was read when I used to mark it because every second word is spelled incorrectly.
Okay.
Grammar wasn't bad, but my spelling was pathetic because of the problem of dyslexia.
Sure.
And now my daughter is accommodated in,
Yes,
in
yes,
school
yes.
because it's
Because now we
identified.
have,
Those years, they didn't really identify it. They just said, well, he doesn't know how to spell. And you know how much hiding I got for that at school because we still used to get the hidings back then. But yeah, so I'd like to motivate, especially the young people, to not give up because it's so easy to fall into that trap where you believe what other people say of you or believe of you instead of believing what you actually have within yourself.
I can't even begin to think what you had to go through. And maybe still, because having that dyslexia, to seeing your work then because there are people watching this now and having certain limiting beliefs.
Yeah. That problem of I am a slow learner. I can't do this.
Was that words ever said to you?
There was, I mean, the teachers were very rough back in the day.
Okay. Yeah. I used to get the hiding. Like,
So I can remember this instance, and I won't mention the teacher now.
Sure.
But I got 2 out of 20 for spelling test, but in primary school.
Yeah.
And I got the most shots you got for everything you got wrong. So I got so much shots, and the kids would laugh about it because kids were cool back then. I think it was worse back then because then we could say anything we wanted to. It wasn't considered bullying.
Yeah.
Now it's considered bullying. Back then, we didn't know that it was bullying when kids made fun of you. But those things could break me down back then. But still, I had the confidence. Maybe a funny story. My mom was my music teacher in primary school.
Yeah.
And maybe I had so much confidence. So I was singing maybe a little bit louder than other kids in the choir. I didn't actually know at the time that I could sing. It was just something I enjoyed doing.
Sure.
But I was very confidently singing, and my mom said, "Can you please sing softer?" So I thought at that time, maybe I'm singing ugly, that I must sing softer. But that
is the confidence.
So we have a responsibility as mentors, as people who guide, as teachers, to look a little bit deeper than what sits on the surface. Some kids is maybe hungry at school. We don't know what is their family lives like.
Sure.
When I used to be in children's ministry in the church for many years, and I very much enjoyed working with children. But I always wanted to see myself through their eyes. How do they see me, and how can I inspire what they need? Because every child is different. And if we try and treat every child in the same way, we're not going to succeed with everyone.
Definitely not.
So we have to look at what that specific child's needs are.
To bring out what they
What's the best
already possess. They already possess.
So some kids might be a little bit rough and rowdy, and some is quieter. And then sometimes you can lose focus on the one that's a little bit quiet and there at the back. But they also have something to say. You might just have to ask them to bring it out of them.
Sure.
My eldest daughter she's studying music therapy. So she's
music runs in the family.
Music runs in the family. She's studying music therapy. She has a music degree, B Mas, and she's a drummer. But she wanted to do music therapy because through music she can help other people.
Okay.
She can help people with a disability, somebody with trauma or something. And she was very, very quiet as a child. She was very shy. The child would never, you say, please greet the people. She would be here by her mother and stuff.
Look here.
So we would never have expected that she would actually be somebody who can be on stage.
Yeah.
And there was just, at some stage, there was a switch. And she came out more. She was head girl at the school.
Wow.
She got the headmaster's award. And things. So, so we would assume when she was younger, okay, this child is going to be that child that's always there in the background. And it's not necessarily like that, yeah.
I can remember when my last born, when he was born, for the first 2 years, he wouldn't go to anyone besides his mother. But he used that time to observe. And now, he opens. If he were to see you coming in here, you bet it's gonna take 5 to 10 minutes. He'll ask you questions, and he's out there speaking. He didn't even come to me the first 2 years. I was like, why did they come?
Okay.
But then when he came out, he was like, I didn't
a boy.
Yes, a boy. Yes,
yeah. Boy is sometimes close to their mothers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have 2 girls. They're also close to their mother.
I'm not sure whether I should end this off with. Is there any last words Bhutabi would like to share? Would like to share?
So
Ja, maar je kan baie lekker geweest, man. Ek het baie die couch het lekker wees. Ja. Ja, maar ek het ook baie dankie sê man dat ek ook nog hier kan gewees het, man. Wie? Die plek is ver, jong. En die taxi ry nie en die wie lank het ek geloop om hier te kom.
Kampidia.
Jo, die was baie nice, man. Baie nice, man. Jo, die koek en die tee was baie lekker, nie?
Obviously, on the podcast, we look to inspire our viewers to go out and improve 1% per day, or becoming the best version of themselves. So, with that in mind, is there any last comments that you'd like to share?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just maybe I'd like to mention things coming up in the near future. So
Definitely, because there are some stuff coming up.
Besides doing private functions, corporate gigs, I also do quite a bit of stuff in the community. So towards the end of the year, it's already fully booked with regards to doing stuff for the elderly.
Sure.
So I'm doing a couple of events. A lot of institutions bring in the elderly and treat them around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Give them a little food parcel and give them a meal. And then I would come in to do entertainment because I resonate very well with the elderly.
Yeah.
I do all the old songs, Fly Me to the Moon, that type of stuff, and doing a bit of Christmas stuff. So that stuff is coming up, and like I say, it's a little bit full because people might say, "Oh, we can use Bhutabi."
Yes.
Actually, I can't help you. On the 18th of October, I'm doing a high tea for AGS church. So look out there; they'll be advertising the event to come and support those things, all in aid of fundraising. So there's quite a few of those things, like high teas as big. People love to see Bhutabi at the high tea. And then I do a couple of shows a year. So like I mentioned, in August I did a big show, and then every year I do a Christmas event. So on the 20th of December, I'll be doing a Christmas event, a Christmas show. So it's for everyone, It's a Christmas show that does your Christmas songs, but it's not like a carols by candlelight. It's not like that.
Yeah,
it's a comedic show that's focused on the time of Christmas in a colored household. It's that type of thing. We have our own, it was Heritage Day. We have our own things that we do on Christmas. I moet 5 dieren op die tafel is, that type of thing. Yeah, it's van alles. And people eat till their eyes closed, and then they don't get from a table. They just have dessert there and another dessert. And I moet trifle is. And wie trifle is the best dier because this auntie brought her trifle. And so we look at those type of things. So yeah, that show is normally sold out way before the time. The tickets aren't out yet, but I'm just mentioning that those are the type of things I do. And I do assist where I can in the community. I do some workshop for kids sometimes at the theater where they ask me to come in and maybe just share a little bit about maybe how to create a character and how to do this. So there's some community workshops that take place, and then I try and assist in those avenues where I can, try and give back to the community. That's been very good to me because the artists in PE struggle very much to fill a venue.
Yeah.
It's very difficult in PE to get people to buy in to coming to support a local act. Okay. I've been blessed over the years that people come out and they come and support me. So I'm very grateful for that. That people still take their hard-earned cash and buy a ticket to come and see a guy that grew up right next to them, and just come and support the arts in the city. So for all those young aspiring artists, whether it be art of photography or videography, painting, drawing, telling stories, being a radio presenter, believe in your ability and don't let the naysayers tell you that this and this is going to hold you back. To find another way to work around it.
Yeah.
There are other ways and means to get around things that's holding us back. And I love seeing people striving for excellence. especially our youth, and I even want to tell people in of older age,
Sure.
it's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late. Maybe you've been funny all your life,
Yeah.
and you think maybe I should give this comedy a shot, or maybe you've been singing in church all the years, but you never thought maybe I can do it, or anything. Maybe you're gardening for yourself, and you could actually have your own farm. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
anything. Don't limit yourself to thinking that, oh, I can only do this. You can actually push it beyond, make it something really unbelievable.
No, thank you so much. Family, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this episode. So if you've loved what you have been, what you got from today's show, please let us know in the comments, because we love your feedback. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Yes, it's absolutely free for you. However, it does help the channel and create more awareness as we interview every week one of our good role models from our neighborhoods. Kurt, thank you so much for actually being here and taking out the time. I'm looking forward to actually being at the Christmas event. So for those of you who are don't have any plans for the 18th of October, do come and join us as we will be having
Yeah.
Bhutabi
So yeah, the details is on my Facebook page. You
Yeah.
guys just go look for I am Bhutabi or Bhutabi. Find me on Facebook. Yeah.
So as you've just heard that Bhutabi is active on Facebook, so please do come and get the details from there, and you'll also see the flyer in the next few seconds. Hey family, your support to the Luciaan Godfrey Podcast has been amazing thus far. If it was your first time watching, please let us know in the comments what your experience was like and which one stood out for you. Please do subscribe to our channel to be notified the next time when we upload another video. Thank you so much.